Hey everybody, I'm Jeff Baker and welcome to This Is What I'm Talking About. Today I'm talking about French toast. We're not just talking about any French toast, we're going to spice it up a little bit here. We're going to do a crab and cheese stuffed French toast. I made up a loaf of sourdough bread by machine yesterday. Instead of going with a couple thin slices, I'm going to go with one big thick slice. Just going to cut a pocket right in the center of this. Cut it in there fairly deep. And we're just going to stuff this thing up. Hopefully this works out right. Cheese I'm going to use, if you've seen any of my videos before, you know I like the Mexican 4-cheese blend. So I'm going to use that. All we're going to do is stuff that down in the center. Put a few pieces of imitation crab meat in there. Your only hope is that you can keep this thing together without it falling apart, which it's already starting to do. I'm going to put a little bit more cheese on top of that. It's not that big of a deal if it gets all sloppy on you anyway. Yeah, now we're going to mix up our egg coating here. Excuse me though. I'm only going to use one egg. I'm going to put a little bit of milk in here. Normally, I would use a heavy whipping cream, but I forgot to pick some up in the store, so I'm just going with the regular milk. And we're just going to mix up the egg and the milk. It's a hot one out here today. It's about 90 degrees, but fortunately we've got a pretty decent breeze going through here. I'm going to get this all good and mixed up. I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon. The breeze is blowing this thing all the way through, actually. And also, I'm going to add just a little bit of chili powder. Just give it a little bit of flavor. Not a lot, just enough to flavor. Mix that all together. Alright, I'm going to check and see. Our pan is plenty hot enough here with some butter. Oh yeah, we're looking good. Whew. Plenty good. Alright, make sure you get this thing really mixed up good. What we're going to do now is dip our bread in it. It's starting to fall apart quite a bit, actually. I don't know how this is going to work at all. But we're just going to get it totally soaked here as much as we can. Yeah, this thing's falling completely apart. Don't know how this is going to work, folks. I think we're going to have a couple different pieces here. My bread's a little bit more drier than I thought it was going to be. But that's okay. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to actually just cut that in two. We're already halfway there anyway. Open that up and let it heat up pretty good. Got some butter pecan syrup here today. Also some salt and pepper once we put it on a plate. And my bread's just a little bit too dry. It started coming apart on me. But we'll make do with what we got. Flip it over here. One way to keep it hot enough is actually to keep that lid down, keep the heat on. like I said, it's about 90 degrees out here, but it's really a gorgeous day. And as you can tell, the breeze is going really pretty steady today. You can see my garden. I've got some bell peppers going crazy back there. I've got some red, green, yellow. Also got a few more tomatoes on my plants. I thinned those way out last week. I've given tomatoes away to 3 different neighbors, and I've used a bunch myself. Probably much better down on the stove so you can get a little higher heat. But you can work just about anything you can do on a stove out here on a grill also. Yeah, nice, quick and easy breakfast. Or in my case, I like eating this kind of stuff for dinner too. I'd much rather have breakfast food at night. I may be weird that way, but quite down all the way due to time constraints. I'm actually doing this on Wednesday afternoon, and my uploads for whatever reason are so slow. They're taking like 7 or 8 hours to upload this to YouTube. So I'm doing it on Wednesday now, and I'm either going to do late night tonight, I'll start the upload, or when I first get up tomorrow morning I'll start it. I'll probably do it late tonight. That way it'll be up sometime by Thursday afternoon, or maybe even a little earlier. And once it's up on YouTube, I'll just share it into Facebook. Really, the only problem with going to YouTube first is I don't have them saved on my wall archive, but that's okay. You can always find them on YouTube if you're looking for them later. Well, I will have them on my wall now that I think about it. They just won't be archived like the other ones are now. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and do what we got here because my time is running out. YouTube has a 15-minute limit. This isn't perfect, but you get the general idea. Actually, I turned that off. I didn't want to turn that off yet. Where I got enough heat going in there. Now I got eggshells everywhere. Wanted to do one more egg to put on top of it. Never have French toast without an egg. And I like my eggs rare like I like my meat. I like my eggs looking at me. Well, that's going to work just fine, actually. I wouldn't be turning my eggs anyway. Some of that hot butter up there and do the top a little bit. And that's about the way I eat it anyway. So that's going to work just fine. Put that right on top of here. There's a little butter on it. And on top of that, we're going with the buttered pecan syrup. Oh yeah. A little salt and pepper. crab and cheese stuffed French toast. See what you think. Until next week, don't know what I'm going to be doing yet, but we'll figure something out good so I can tell my friends and family, laissez les bon temps rouler, let the good times roll. And so I'm getting ready to eat my crab and cheese stuffed French toast, and that's what I'm talking about.